So this is one of the most fundamental level of test that you can have. Just imagine, even before you graduate from your BTech, you will have a MTech admission waiting for you. The most important subjects that we have here is mathematics, aptitude, data structure and programming. This is one of the most amazing places to be. But if you think about it, you can crack multiple things with the same knowledge. So hello dosto, I welcome you all to your favorite channel, Wallah English. So friends, as you all know that in each session we try to bring the maximum benefit to you guys, and today we are going to talk about one of the most fundamental and basic area of discussion, which is all and everything you need to know about the GATE exam. And friends, this is the first question that has brought the idea of appearing for GATE exam within you. And you are here at this channel only because you are serious about the GATE preparation. So here we are to get you as much information as possible for this exam. So here we are going to talk about what is the eligibility criteria, what is the syllabus, because we should be very clear with the syllabus even before we appear for the exam. We're going to talk about the exam pattern, like what are some of the patterns, what are some of the types of questions, what are the marks, weightage, everything. What are the various career options that we have after appearing for the GATE exam, and what are the salary and lifestyle expectations that one should have. Because friends, believe it or not, we all are putting in this much hard work because we want to get ahead in life. We don't want to be the same. We don't want to stay behind. Okay, so we should be very clear why and how to prepare for the GATE exam. So in this video, all your queries will be answered because I am here trying to give you the maximum benefit possible. So let's get started. So first, about what is actually GATE. So it is not the gate like the door. Okay, it is actually a door of opportunities. So GATE exam is a gate for opportunities. Okay, so with the GATE exam you can enter so many different opportunities that you can't even imagine. And GATE stands for Graduate Aptitude Test in Engineering. So this is one of the most fundamental level of test that you can have in your BTech. Okay, like right after your BTech or during your BTech, this is a very, very fundamental level of exam. When I say fundamental, it means that this is nowadays the basic expectation from anyone who is graduating right out of college. Okay, now this is a national level exam. So that doesn't mean that your score will be just valid in a particular city. Okay, it will be valid pan India, and let me tell you, it is also acceptable by few of the foreign universities. For a detailed discussion on that, you can check out our past video where we have discussed and given you information about what are the various other countries and continents which accept this result. Okay, so diving deep into this exam, as the name suggests, this is an aptitude exam. And this is the most important word, aptitude, because GATE exam is not checking your memorization skills. It is checking your aptitude skills, your logical skills, your logical thinking. And throughout this exam preparation, you will have to tackle everything very logically. Okay, so please be very careful that aptitude is the most important element of this exam. Now, talking about what it is conducted and what are the various details about it. First of all, what it is conducted by your premium institutes of India, the ISC Bangalore and the old 7 IITs like IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, IIT Kanpur, Kharagpur. Recently it was conducted by IIT Guwahati. Okay, so friends, if IITs are conducting this exam, you can understand the level, right? Because all the IITs take combined efforts while creating the exam, and one of the institute hosts that particular exam, right? So as you can see, wherever the word IIT is there in India, it is definitely worth it. Okay, Second thing, it is usually conducted in the month of February every year. So I appeared for GATE exam in 2019 and I still remember the date. It was on 3rd Feb 2019. And in the first attempt, I secured All India rank 60 with a marks of 77.33 out of 100. So it is a 100 marks paper and you need to have a certain cutoff cleared in order to be eligible to say that you have cleared the GATE exam. Okay, but in order to get into IITs, you need a different level of target, which I will talk about in the upcoming section. Okay, so it usually gets conducted in the month of February. Like this year, it was conducted on 8th of February for computer science branch and multiple other branches, and on 15th of February for data DA batch, I would say. Okay, and again multiple other batches. Sometimes it also gets conducted in multiple shifts. Okay, because if there are so many students, okay, that are not able to handled by some selective centers, so what they do is they conduct it in multiple phases. So this time there was CS shift 1 paper and CS shift 2 paper because of the number of candidates. Okay, so these are some basic things you should be aware of. Now I would say eligibility is one of the most important criteria, because even before preparing, you should be at least clear whether you are eligible or not. Honestly, most of the people are eligible to appear for the GATE exam, because as you will see, it has a very wide variety of eligibility to be accepted. Okay, so I will just get aside. You can watch this slide. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this as well. Okay, so here we have written the program, the degree. Okay, here we have written what is the basic details about that degree, and here we have written the description of the eligible candidates within that degree. So I'll just take an example. So suppose I take BE, BTech, BPharm. So what is this? Bachelor's degree in engineering or technology, which is 4 years after your 12th or 3 years after BSc. And it is also accepting diploma in engineering or diploma in technology. Okay, so basically I have done BTech in computer science. At my time, the eligibility was that you should be at least a 4th year student or after that. But in recent times and even this year, it was accepted that even the 3rd year students can give their first attempt. So you can start giving GATE exam from 3rd year onwards. And that is one of the most amazing part, because even before you graduate, just imagine, even before you graduate from your BTech, you will have a MTech admission waiting for you. Because if you get a great rank, the marks will be eligible for multiple years. Okay, the rank will be eligible for valid for multiple years. So just imagine how beautiful that is. You will already have security before you get out of college. Okay, so that's a very good luxury to have. And similarly, you can go through it, okay, depending on whichever degree you are from. For example, BR, which is Bachelor's Degree of Architecture, 5-year course. Okay, Naval Architecture 4 years course, and Planning 4-year course, whatever. Okay, so there are lots and lots of degrees, and each of them have their certain criteria which you can go through this. Not just this slide dosto, there is again one more slide for eligibility where we have put the other details here. Again, I will get aside. You can take the screenshot of this. Okay, chalo. So now this was all about eligibility, and as I said, eligibility is very important because you should be clear whether you are eligible or not before proceeding ahead with the preparation. Okay. Okay, one more disclaimer here, that please go through the official website of GATE exam, because there might be very slight change as we progress. So it is a very important disclaimer that I would like to give you, that whatever information I am putting here, it is as of today. It is as of you are watching this lecture. But if it happens that there are some slight changes into the data, you need to check it from the official GATE website. Okay, so please keep that in mind, not just for this video, for any video. All the things might get slightly updated, which you will find in the website. And that brings me to the second most important point, which is GATE syllabus. So there's a very important and a very famous saying that even before you study for the exam, study the exam. Okay, let me know in the comment section whether you have heard this or not. Even before you start studying for the exam, you need to study the exam. That means you need to know the exam that you are appearing for. Okay, so what I mean by that is, let's say you want to appear for GATE exam. So before you start preparing for GATE exam, you need to understand what GATE exam is. You need to understand the syllabus. You need to understand what is the outcome of giving the GATE exam. Because only when the why is clear, the how gets sorted. Focus on this. Only when you are very clear with why you want to appear for the GATE exam, then only you will be able to focus on how to crack the GATE exam. Because if the why part is not clear, then you will not have the internal motivation to go through this long journey, because this journey is very long. It is almost 1 year to 1.5 year long journey. Okay. So first of all, let's go through quickly the GATE syllabus. Okay, as I said, guys, you need to download this from the official website. Okay, here I will just list down some important subjects within each of the branches, because GATE is conducted in multiple branches: computer science, mechanical, civil, electrical, electronics, instrumentation, DA, many branches, chemical branch, right? So you should be going through the official website to get the syllabus of your respective branch. Okay, so let me display some of the branches syllabus here. So if I talk about the GATE CS or IT, okay, like one of the specific branches, okay, the most important subjects that we have here is mathematics, aptitude, data structure and programming, which you might be already aware of, algorithms, digital logic, computer organization and architecture. Okay, so guys, this mathematics and aptitude, these are the backbone of GATE exam, and that's why these subjects will be common across all the branches. In fact, aptitude is one such subject which is always of fixed marks of 15 marks, 1-5. It is the only subject which is guaranteed to be there of 15 marks in every paper. Since the beginning of the GATE exam, you can check, every paper there was 15 marks separate section for aptitude. Okay, and if the exam is of 100 marks, it means 15% weightage. Okay, yeah. Then you have theory of computation, which is a short form TOC. We have compiler design, we have database management system, DBMS, we have OS, which is operating system, and then we have computer networks. Okay, now within this, the most important segment is this, the maths and aptitude segment. Okay, the maths and aptitude segment. And trust me, these two subjects you need to be very clear with if your aim is to clear the GATE exam. In fact, recently we have created a video where we have talked about why maths and aptitude are so important. You can check that out on our official channel. Okay, we have just discussed this with our amazing faculties, like why aptitude and maths are so important and how to properly prepare for them. You can check it out. Okay, diving deep into this, you need to understand that you will have to spend a good amount of time with this subject, and within computer science, this is one of the most vast subject. Okay, computer networks is a very vast subject, but if you want to get a great rank, dosto, every subject is equally important. Like, and when I was preparing for GATE exam and I appeared for the CS branch, I was pretty clear that I will not even leave any subtopic. Forget about subject. And many students I see, they start leaving subjects from the day one. They say, I will not study this subject. But if you want to get a under 100 rank, you need to be clear with each and every subject. Within each subject, there are so many topics. Like for algorithms, there is time complexity analysis, there is sorting, there is divide and conquer, there is greedy, there is dynamic programming, there is graph traversals, there is shortest path algorithms, heaps, so many topics. And don't worry, don't get scared. We will teach you each and every point in our classes. Okay. So this is the syllabus for CS. Similarly, because I'm from CS branch, so I was telling you this in detail, but similarly this is there for each and every branch. Like for DA, again it is like a sister branch or a brother branch for CS. Okay, so here we have maths and aptitude, which I told you is common across all, right? Then here we have Python programming. Okay, here also we had programming, but this is mostly C programming. Okay, so this is the major difference between the programming section. Okay, then we have again the algorithm, we have the data structures, we have database management system, again slight variant. Okay, then we have data warehousing, which is an additional part of DBMS. We have machine learning and we have AI. So these are like the very core subjects, AI and ML. Okay, these are the very core subjects for GATE DA. So if you see closely, okay, maths, aptitude, algorithms, data structure, DBMS, almost 50%, or I should say almost 40 to 50% overlap is there between your GATE DA and GATE CS. Almost 40 to 50% overlap is there. Okay, so you have the luxury that you can attempt multiple papers in GATE exam. So recently they have started allowing you to select a paper 1 and paper 2. Okay, so you can select your first preference, and depending on your first preference, they have a variety of subjects or branches which you can select as your paper 2. So you are allowed to appear for 2 different papers in GATE exam. Okay, so many of the students who are preparing for CS also appear for DA, and the other way around. Many of the DA appearing students also prepare for CS. Why? Because almost 40 to 50% of overlap is there. Okay, so you can also take advantage. This you can also check on the official website. Okay, so proceeding, as I said, then we have EC, okay, electronics branch. So here we have mathematics aptitude, we have networks and signal systems, okay, electronic devices, analog circuits, digital logic and circuits. So this digital logic part is common across CS and your electronics. Okay, so we have digital logic as one of the subjects in your CS as well. Okay, when you check the official syllabus. Okay, then you have control systems, you have communications, and then you have electromagnetics. So these are the subjects for ECE branch. Then we have EE branch, which is electrical branch, right? So here you have mathematics and aptitude, again the common subjects. Then you have the core subjects. What are core subjects? Core subjects are specific to that particular branch. So we have mathematics aptitude, then core branches, electric circuits, electromagnetic fields, signals and systems, electrical machines, and so on. So again, if you are from this branch, you can check out the official website for a detailed syllabus. So when you will check out the detailed syllabus, for each of the subject, you will also get a list of the important subtopics. Like what are the subtopics within the GATE exam. So only follow the official GATE syllabus. Don't follow a specific person. Like if they are saying that this is out of syllabus, no. You can only challenge the actual official stuff. Okay. So please follow that. Then moving on to civil branch. So again, you will find maths and aptitude common. Then we have engineering mechanics, solid mechanics and structural analysis, construction materials, concrete and steel structure, and so on. So these are again the core branches. You can go to the official website and you can download the syllabus. Moving on to the mechanical branch. Okay, so within mechanical branch, again we have maths and aptitude. Then we have engineering mechanics, we have mechanics of materials, theory of machines and vibrations, machine design, fluid mechanics, and so on. Very interesting topics. Okay, moving ahead, we have the chemical branch. So within chemical branch, again the chemical branch has very niche set of people who are appearing here, right? So we have again maths and aptitude, then we have fluid mechanics and mechanical operations, heat transfer, mass transfer, and so on. Okay, so these are the core subjects. You can check it out on the official website. Okay, so now we are moving on to the most important segment of this video, which is about understanding the paper, okay, which is about understanding the GATE exam. So as I told you earlier, the exam pattern is something which you need to observe on yearly basis, okay, but 99% paper is always following the same pattern. But again, as an instructor, I would suggest you to always refer to the latest information that you get. So let's say I have given you this information, but if you're appearing for GATE exam in Feb 2027, so on that day, whatever information you get on the computer screen, you follow that information, okay? So please do that. Okay, so talking about exam pattern, let's say the total marks is of 100, which is the actual data. Usually the GATE exam is of 100 marks, okay, and there are usually total of 65 questions. These 65 questions are divided into only 2 marks distribution, usually 2 different marks distribution. One is 1 marks questions and the second is 2 marks questions. So 2 different variety, 1 mark, 2 mark. It is also fixed that usually the 1 marks questions are 30 and usually the 2 marks questions are 35. So in the comment section, do let us know if this is making it 100 marks paper or not. How? So 30 into 1 plus 35 into 2. So 70 plus 30, 100 marks. Now these questions are divided into 2 segments. One is your maths, sorry, 3 segments I should say, one maths, aptitude, and then the remaining core subjects. Okay, out of that, it is fixed that aptitude will be of 15 marks. Okay. Now, general aptitude 15 marks, stream 85 marks. As I said, stream means maths plus core subjects. Okay. There are only 3 types of questions as of now that are within the pattern, which is MCQ, NAT, and MSQ questions. What is the difference? MCQ questions are multiple choice questions. That means usually you have 4 options. You will be given a question and you will be given 4 options to select from, and there will be exactly 1 correct answer for this type of questions. The second is NAT, which is numerical answer type. That means here the answer would be numerical. You will have to enter digits, okay, and it will be mentioned that answer with up to 2 decimal places, up to 3 decimal places, like that. Okay, so the precision value will be mentioned. And then the third variety is MSQ, which is multiple select options. Multiple choice could be correct. That means at least 1 would be correct. There can be 2 correct, 3 correct, 4 correct as well. And these are the most difficult variety of questions in GATE. Okay, that's why this year, if you would have seen our channel, we have brought a separate series where we taught you the MSQ questions, because these are the toughest. Because in MCQ you can be sure if you know the correct answer, you can get ahead to the next. But in MSQ, even if 1 option is correct, you need to have clarity about the remaining 3 options as well. Okay, and the third is NAT, which I told you. So usually there are 1/3 negative marking for wrong answer, for wrong MCQ answer. So for a 1 mark question, minus 0.33, and for a 2 mark question, usually minus 0.66. 1/3 will be negative marking. Okay, no negative marking for NAT and MSQ types of questions. So again, very important. Okay, please take a note. You don't have any negative marking for numerical answer type and MSQ usually. Again, if this data changes, we will inform you. You don't have to worry. But this is the usual pattern that has been getting followed over the years. Okay, so because these are very difficult, you are not having any options, or you have to have multiple options, so they are having no negative marking. So this is the exam pattern. Even when I appeared in 2019, this was the same pattern. Okay. Now, what are the benefits? Again, we all are having some purpose to prepare for the GATE exam. Either it could be a great life, Either it could be to have a great stable job, either it could be to gain knowledge, whatever. There can be many purposes. And GATE exam is one such opportunity which is serving for all the benefits. Okay, so you can pursue MTech, PhD or MTech research in ISC, IITs, NITs and from private institutes. So if you are targeting to have higher studies, to have more knowledge, right? So you have the option to pursue higher studies. But if your target is to enter the public sector segment like ONGC, like your ISRO, BARC, okay, if you want to enter in IOCL, okay, so if you want to enter into the PSU segment, so this opportunity also provide you that. It is like job in similar to government sector. And trust me, if your aim is to have a great work-life balance, this is one of the most amazing places to be, and it's a very respectful profession. Okay, then you have direct opportunities like BARC, CSIR, ISRO exam. Okay, then you have management courses. So direct opportunities in, there are certain institutes or PSUs which conduct their own variant of GATE exam, their own exam. It has almost 90% overlap with your GATE exam. Okay, so recently you can check out our YouTube channel. We are bringing a YouTube series to prepare you for BARC exam, and that has almost 90% overlap with the GATE syllabus. So that's the benefit of GATE. If you prepare for GATE exam, multiple path gets opened for you, and then you can choose which path you want to follow. Okay, simple. Then management courses from IC Bangalore, etc., and MS outside India. So as I told you at the beginning, very few people are aware of this option. Obviously, because this path is taken by very few people. Okay, so you can check out our detailed video where we have discussed about the various opportunities abroad. Okay, you can find the video on our official channel itself. Okay, chalo, proceeding ahead. Now these were the direct benefits. Okay, but let's talk about the financial assistant benefit, because I agree that many of us might have some financial constraints, because after BTech we are expected to take care of the family at times, right? So there is a very good assistance for that in terms of the monthly stipend. Okay, so you can get a stipend of around 12,400 every month for doing MTech or MTech by research. Like there is a TA program, there's a RA program for that. And trust me, this is not less, because indirectly, if you think about it, you are getting this to study from the highest level institute like IITs. So I've done my MTech from IIT Bombay, and I used to get a stipend of 12,400. Okay, and before that I was working at Amazon, where my stipend was more than 50,000 per month. So you can see the difference, right? Almost 3 to 4 times I was getting more. But my focus was on long term. And when you know, that when you study from IITs, you have a very great long term career. So you don't have to think about the short term thing. You have to think about the long term. Okay. So 12,400 is a very good stipend. And I used to think of it like as a bonus, that I was not expecting this. It was like a bonus amount to me, which I'm getting because I'm studying and I'm still getting it. And imagine you're living in Bombay, IIT Bombay, Powai area. That is one of the most costliest area, and you are still getting paid for that. So what can be better than that, right? But this is very good, like 28,000 stipend every month if you are pursuing your direct PhD. Okay. Again, for the recent information, you can check out the official website. Okay, let's proceed. So what are the indirect benefits? See, because direct benefits are very clearly visible, but indirect benefits are something which you realize afterwards, which you realize with time. Okay, So one is that you have comprehensive preparation for other PSU and government exams, which I just discussed with you, right? That you have the liberty that by preparing for one exam, you can get opportunities to crack multiple other exams. What can beat that, right? Then complementary preparation for placements. Okay, like honestly telling about myself, when I was in my BTech, I cracked the GATE exam with All India rank 60. I was a city topper. I secured, so I was the only student from the batch who got placed at Amazon as a software developer, and I had a CGPA of 9 plus out of 10. So I excelled in all the three fields. The major reason was I prepared very sincerely for GATE exam. And when you prepare sincerely for GATE exam, you are able to score great in college exams as well. You are able to crack the placements as well, because in GATE you have programming, aptitude, maths, core subjects, and those are also expected for you while sitting for the coding placements. So there's a very good overlap, and if your coding concepts are clear, you can easily crack the placements. So that also helps you. Very few people know all this. Okay, so many people think, sir, I am preparing for placements, so how can I prepare for GATE? But if you think about it, you can crack multiple things with the same knowledge, and useful for excellent grades. I gave you the example, right? In fact, my CGPA at IIT Bombay was 9.36 out of 10, my highest ever. The reason is GATE knowledge helps you a lot. Okay, chalo. So these were some indirect benefits. Now PSU salary, again, I will not read it out because you can find it anywhere on the official website. I will just get aside. You can take the screenshot here. Okay. So these are the various PSUs that I was referring to. You have ONGC, you have IOCL, you have NTPC, SAIL, BPCL, GAIL, NLC, and so on. So you have multiple different PSUs, okay? And for each of the PSUs, you have some status assigned to that and the salary structure. So again, here we have provided you with a range, but for exact details, you can check out the websites, okay? Their official websites for the respective PSU. Okay, so it can range from 60,000 to 1,80,000. So this is the usual pattern, almost 3 times. 60,000 into 3 is 1,80,000. And for some PSUs, it can range, like here it is 20,600 to 46,500. So obviously the range can differ from PSU to PSU. Again, these are some more PSUs. So I will get aside. You can take the screenshot for this. Okay. So here we have for oil, for HAL, for NALCO. Okay. So again, these are very renowned and very reputed PSUs. So you can check out. Again, here we have the salary structure details and the status for you guys. Okay. Proceeding ahead, PSU salary. So again, for the remaining PSUs like ISRO, you have a very good starting salary of almost 56,000 to 1 lakh per month. Way better. Way better. Okay. For DRDO, you have 56,000 to 1 lakh per month. For BARC, 65,000 guys, up to 1 lakh 34,000, okay, per month. AAI and NHAI, again, their respective salaries. The point is that you can't underestimate the salary that you get from PSU, okay, and not just salary, because now you can say, sir, we have heard that people get crores of package, right? So not just salary, there are certain perks of from being a PSU as well. So you have some government quarter to stay, right? You have job security, which is very important in today's world. You have fixed working hours, again very important if you are looking for work-life balance, because trust me, you might not get this in private sector. Private sector are very famous for higher salaries, but you should be aware that they have very hectic schedule as well. Okay, so you need to take account of that. and pensions in some departments. Okay, so there are some PSU departments which also offer you a very hefty stipend, very hefty pensions. Okay, so there are many benefits, guys. Okay, so PSUs are very famous across different branches. Like for example, for CS and DA, PSUs are not that famous, but for other branches like mechanical, civil, okay, other branches, they are very, very in demand. So you can check out. Now, finally, talking about the outcome, the lifestyle. Okay, so if you are thinking of having a life which is very stable for long-term jobs, like if you want to continue with the company for a very long term, PSU is a very good option for you. If you want some risks like government, so it has some risks. Okay, obviously everything has some minor risks. Okay, but here is a very important point: technical learning stops after some year. Some people categorize it as a problem or as a drawback, but for some other people it can be a good point. If you are someone who wants to have a very growth driven career, then private sector would be better for you. But if you are someone who wants a very well settled life, stable job, not too much of hectic schedule, so PSU life is very great for you, because here you will be working in the same domain, so there is no external pressure to always keep upgrading. Okay, then it is great for financial stability, family life, and early retirement planning. As I told you, family life, so there is a very, very great work-life balance here. Okay, and on the other hand, you have government. Okay, so you have maximum job security, high authority and influence, because if you get into the government sector, right, so more stable than PSUs. So there is a very slight difference between government jobs and PSUs. Some can overlap them, but again, you can read the details, because as per your interest you can decide. Okay, awesome. So with this, my dear friends, I would like to conclude this discussion. I really hope that it added value to you and it helped you make some wise decisions. These are some of our official Telegram communities. You can join them completely for free. I will get aside, you can take the screenshot. So we have a separate community for civil, for chemical, for CS and IT, for mechanical, and for electrical electronics instrumentation. And you have a separate community for 𝐂𝐴𝐻 Wallah official Telegram channel. You will get some really amazing updates completely for free. Okay, and then you can join our English specific Telegram community, where we keep sharing the updates regarding this particular English channel. So all this you can join completely for free. Okay, and trust me, these updates are real time. Okay, so you can take the benefit of it. So with this, thank you so much, my dear friends. I tried to I try to add so much value to you in as less time as possible, because this is everything, almost everything you need to know about the GATE exam. So you can just watch this single video and you can decide what are you looking for from the GATE exam. Finally, I want you to write in the comment section down below, what are your learnings and what are the steps that you're planning to take to get ahead in your GATE journey. Because my dear friends, everyone watches video, but very, very few people take the action. So be an action taker, and trust me, you will be really happy with the outcomes. My name is Aditya Jain, and I wish you all the very best. Goodbye, take care. See you in the next session. Thank you.